right, y'all. Welcome into another episode of TFU.
Let's go.
Woohoo! All right.
Never. The woo woo is soft.
I hate the let's go. You know, I get nightmares from it.
I don't know why you get nightmares from it.
No, it's horrible.
It's probably because he hasn't edited it so much.
Yeah, there you go.
He's hearing it in his dream.
In my sleep. Yeah.
Anyways, we have a entrepreneur in the house. Brooke Bailey with us today. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good.
So you grew up.
Wait. That's it?
Fashion.
Motherfucking Brooke Bailey in the goddamn house. Bring her out. She's a goddamn LA legend, a fucking icon. What are we doing?
Well, okay. You want to redo it?
Yeah, let's fucking redo that shit.
One more time.
All right. The whole thing or just that part?
Bring her out. Bring this motherfucker out.
All right, y'all. We have entrepreneur.
Talk about it.
LA legend.
Talk about it.
Superstar.
That's what I'm talking about.
Brooke Bailey in the house today.
There you go.
That's
I feel
an
more
introduction.
comfortable.
That's
I
an
feel
introduction.
motherfucking comfortable with that.
All right.
And fashion icon.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
There
Yes.
you go.
You know, I appreciate that because, I work hard to put my fashion together. Not real hard. It kind of comes easy, but
Yeah.
There we go. So you grew up in LA,
South
right?
Central LA.
Grew up in
Talk
LA.
about it.
How
Yeah.
did growing up in LA, shape who you are today? How did that,
Oh, man.
your early childhood make you who you are today?
I can tell you so many crazy stories, and by the grace of God, I'm still sitting here today. So I grew up in South Central LA. I was bussed out to other schools to get a better public school education.
Which schools?
I went to Purcell Del Rey Elementary School. I started at Washington. Then I went to Purcell Del Rey. I also went to Baldwin Hills Elementary School.
Okay.
I just want to shout out and say Washington was the first victory and only victory I ever had as a Pee Wee football coach. It started off, we had a victory. I was 1-0. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. Maybe I'll be a coach.
It didn't work.
Nah. Lost the rest of the games, but we won that one.
Okay. And then I went to Webster Junior High School. And during that time, I think I was trying to find myself. You get to junior high school, it's totally different from elementary school. I wasn't as coddled as a child in junior high school. Or I wasn't coddled, but I had a very firm hand over me, which I didn't like. So I went against the grain. I was one of the kids that your mom could tell you, if you touch the stove, it's going to burn you. And I needed to touch it anyway so I could see.
Did you always see yourself in entertainment, or you always wanted to be in the entertainment industry growing up in LA? Or
I didn't.
What was the plan?
It was a fluke. I was actually walking down Hollywood Boulevard one day, minding my business. I can't even remember where I was going. And a guy asked me, do you model? And I was like, this fucking creep. Like, I'm like, how hard is it? But my mom did have me like modeling growing up. I always did things, but it was just like an extracurricular activity. It wasn't something that I took serious. And so I went home. By this time, I have already been married twice. I already had.
You already married twice?
I was already married twice when I started in this business. It was in my 20s.
Okay. Just checking. I'm just trying to get a timeline.
I already had 3 children.
Okay.
I was already married twice, and this guy's asking me, can I model? I'm like, how hard is it? I'm not ugly. I know how to do this. I mean, posing, smiling is easy, you know. And so I went home and I told my mom about it. I called her and I was like, this guy, and she was like, you never know, just go and see. You don't know what it's gonna be. And so she said, if you go to the studio to take pictures, because that's what he offered me, she was like, just take somebody with you. 2 weeks later, I did that. 2 weeks after that, I had a spread in Smooth Girl magazine. I had a covers of King magazine, Lowrider magazine with Ice Cube. 6 months after that, I started shooting my first video with Benny Boom as a lead girl. Actually, my first video, I take that back, was with Janet Jackson and Beanie Man. It was a 3-day shoot. And after that, I started with like Benny Boom. Like I just worked with, like I was one of the brown skinned girls in the industry at the time that was on speed dial. So I've worked with the best of the best, Kanye West, Lil Wayne, Game, like you name it, Swizz Beatz.
I didn't even know Benny started
Nicki
off
Minaj.
doing. I didn't even know Benny was started off doing videos. That's
I don't
crazy.
know if he started there, but that's where he was at, and I was
Okay.
definitely on speed dial for him.
How did it
Between
work?
me and Bria Miles, she's beautiful. You know, she's more voluptuous than me, so it was like I was a little slender. Like we were two brown skinned girls in the industry then that were working a lot.
Overnight.
Yeah, overnight. It
That's
just happened. And then I was a Wild 'N Out girl. And then I did my first reality show, Candy Girls, in 2009. And that was supposed to be a reality show about the Wild 'N Out girls. And then they picked their favorites. And then it became a show about video vixens. And then from that point, those producers introduced me to the producers of Basketball Wives in 2012. Shortly after that, I met AZ, made about $1 million in
Definitely
herbs.
did that. Definitely did that.
In 10 months.
In 10 months.
I'm really great with social media influence. And one thing that I do pride myself in is that I'm honest with my followers, the viewers. Like, I'm just myself, you know? So I didn't get into this industry and say, like, I'm not an actress. I'm not to do improv well, because that's just comes with it. You know, I'm quick on my feet, not just in the industry, but in the streets. You know, you got to be quick on your feet. And that's where I'm from. I'm from the streets. So it just kind of happened, and people trust me and they trust my judgment, and I actually use my own products. So from that point on, life has just blossomed.
So, quick question regarding, reality TV.
Yes.
Like what we see on screens, all the fighting, all that stuff. How much is real and how much is staged?
None of it is staged.
So no producer.
Y'all be really mad?
In that moment, by the time I leave scene, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? But in the moment, just imagine, okay, you're riding down the street and somebody's just laying on their horn and flicking you off.
Right.
You flick them back off.
Right.
It's in the moment.
Right.
After they drive off and you drive off, you might laugh.
Right.
You know? So it's the same thing in reality TV. Nothing is scripted. These are our real lives, and we're sharing them, and it can become a lot of annoying.
Now, the one girl on the show that was married to the one basketball player from Sacramento, she gotta be.
She's not a girl. She's a grown woman.
No, she a grown woman. She gotta be acting.
No.
She don't seem normal.
Well, hello.
That
You
girl
said
is,
it, not me.
That girl is not normal.
You said it, not me.
Hey, listen, I don't mind saying it. I be like, nah, it's no way that she actually believes these things.
I think she does.
Damn.
I think she does. I think that, like, I never chased fame. I was always a popular girl from elementary school. I was like, I was that girl, and I'm not like being boastful. I'm a very humble person, but I'm just telling the truth. Like, I was popular in my neighborhood. I'm popular in my family. Like, I'm popular, and it's not just because of like my looks, it's also my personality. I come in a room and I just demand attention because I'm gonna speak. I'm not timid. I'm not meek. Like I'm me. So, and I'm not ashamed of anything, right, wrong, or indifferent. I know I'm wrong sometimes, and I'm okay with that. But some people really crave like attention in different ways, and it might be because of something. The older that I've gotten, I've realized that a lot of the attention that some people seek, whether it's healthy or not, stems from things that they've been through in their own personal lives that we know nothing about, or that we might have heard a little bit about it, but it's just deeper rooted issues in individuals. And I just feel like maybe at some point in her life that she didn't get the attention that she needed. It could be from an adolescent, from a child, because she did go through a lot of things in her childhood that she has shared. Like she's been in foster care before, so she may need a little extra attention,
she
even
need a
as
hug.
a grandmother.
She need a hug.
Yeah.
So you were saying in your childhood you learned how to do the two-piece because
Yeah,
there was
I
like
did.
a clip where they cut it into black and then they came back and the weave of the other person you were talking to seemed like it was a little, you know.
Yeah, it was like a bird's nest. It was like a bird nest. But it was like in that moment, so you know, you're walking into a scene, you don't know what the hell you're about to be confronted about. You might have a little idea, you might think it's gonna go one way, but then it's gonna go a totally different way. And you just gotta be kind of prepared for whatever. And being from South Central LA and choosing to be in the streets because I didn't have to be there. Like, I came from a very loving home, you know, like, it's not like it was like I had to be outside. It's just the life that I liked. It was fast. I want to get money fast. I'm an entrepreneur. I was never like a 9-to-5 type girl, so I'm seeing different ways that I could make a couple bucks. You know, I went to New Jordans and my mom might not be able to afford them. So, but yeah, so you walk into a situation, you don't know which way it's going to go, so you just always got to be ready.
I can't believe anybody tries you. And the reason why, because I know you, and you like literally the sweetest, nicest, the most honest person on the planet. But you could tell you got that edge, like, nigga, I wish you would.
It's just that, listen, prior to these last few years, I already been through a lot of shit. You know, like I said, I'm blessed to even be sitting here right now at 17 years old. I'm in a car driving home with two guys. One was my boyfriend at the time. His best friend's in the back seat. The whole side of my car got shot up. We drive off. We hit a pole because the guys are like on the bus stop shooting the car up because we're in one neighborhood. I'm not knowing that the best friend is throwing up gang signs in the back seat. So I'm so oblivious. I got on a little dress. You know, we had been out all day. So the whole side of my car got shot up. The driver said duck. And when I turned to look to see why, I see a gun pointed straight in my window.
Damn.
So when I duck, he's driving off, but he's driving off and ducking too. So we run into a pole. We hit a pole. So now I hit my head. I passed out for a second. I come to and he's dragging me out from the passenger side to the driver's side through the driver's side. And now we got to run. So now I'm like running to my grandmother's house. You know what I'm saying? And we're on foot. We run into another party. And it's a party full of Bloods. They're Crips. And I am not into gang banging, but I was a kid. So I'm just around this stuff. And I live in these neighborhoods, you know, and I know these people.
Yeah, I know exactly where you live. You used to live down the street from where I used to live.
Exactly. So you know where I'm from. But
I know exactly where you're from.
But it's a beautiful neighborhood. It's palm trees. It's homes. Like, people come over there. If I bring people from out of town, they're like, this not the hood. I'm like, yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? They're like, it's palm trees. Yeah,
walk to the block.
Walk
to the corner. You feel it.
Walk the block, period.
Yeah.
Wait till somebody asks you a question.
Yeah.
You know? So... so I've been in experiences where it's like I know life is real and I know how short it is because what I've been through recent, you know. So all of those things molded me to who I am today. So I respect people. I want them to respect me because I know how ignorant I can get. And I've worked very hard in therapy over these last few years not to be in that space.
But I don't think you come bringing it like that, though.
I'm not a starter. I'm a finisher.
Yeah, if it show up, then you be like, all right, fuck it. That's what we doing.
That's what we doing. I'm not a starter. I don't start shit. I'm a finisher.
There you
That's
go.
it.
Is there any time on the show where you felt like they tried to portray it in some way where it didn't really happen, and you had to like be like, what the, or like put you in some sort of light that you weren't really?
You never know how it's going to be edited, you know. And when I first started doing this type of television, I didn't understand it. So I didn't understand I was just myself. You know what I'm saying? So if I get pissed off and then they don't show the part that led up to me getting pissed off, then I look like the black angry woman. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, damn, you left out a whole part. You know what I'm saying? To show why I'm the black angry woman. You know, like, I'm not just angry for no reason, you know? And then people think that I'm much bigger too. So they think that I'm much bigger. I have been thicker in life, okay?
Right.
So I'm smaller now than what I usually am. But people think that I'm like taller because a lot of the women that I work with are shorter.
Mm-hmm.
So I look much bigger. So they're like, oh, this bully. No, like, girl, if I'm a bully and she's starting shit, she should be quiet.
There you go.
So,
Did you have anybody that helped you kind of like navigate how to?
I honestly learned this shit on my own. And I did. I learned it on my own because when I started in this business, I started as a video vixen, and it was the light-skinned girls versus the dark-skinned girls, and nobody's helpful because everybody's trying to win. That's not my mentality. I'm not a crab in a bucket type of person. If you win, I win. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's all get to this bread. Like, I'm not that person. So I really had all my fuck-ups, all of that on my own, had to sit with it, had to learn from it. But I'm glad because now I, in return, have helped other women in this business to succeed and to show them the ropes because I'm not a gatekeeper.
Speaking of you succeeding, you got a skincare line, right?
Yes,
Okay,
I have
how's that
Skin
going?
by Brooke Bailey. It's anti-aging skincare for men and women. I also have cosmetics. I'm wearing the lips now. This is Cocoa Lip Liner, Naked Liquid to Matte, and Bare Hydro Gloss. I'm actually revamping and changing the name. Okay. So I started off with Skin by Brooke Bailey because it was just skincare. And it was a baby that I started prior to my daughter passing away. And once she passed away, I had to work on me. You know, when you are starting a new business, you have to baby it. And I just didn't have it in me. So I put it to the side and, you know, I'm doing the show. And I like really went right back to work. You know, I was going through a divorce and trying to figure out if I was staying in it at the time. I had so much on my plate. So the business just kind of sat to the side. And then I got to a point where, you know, I've done therapy this whole time because I knew immediately it's like no way for me to live life without doing it, you know, with my daughter passing. And so I got to a point in therapy and within my healing where I was ready to pick my baby back up again. So I introduced it. It's BrookeBaileyInc.com, but I introduced it as Skin by Brooke Bailey. But what a lot of people don't know is that when I lived in New York, I went to aesthetic school and I graduated. And once I graduated, I also taught there for 1 year. So with me teaching, I really have a love for anything beauty and anything fashion, you know. And now I created a name then in 2017, which is Glamour Genetics. And now that I've built the foundation and have gotten the word out and people have been very supportive of my business, Skin by Brooke Bailey, I'm now changing the name to Glamour Genetics because I've also just launched a hair oil for my line too. So it's not just skin, it's not just cosmetics, it's also hair. So that was my first love, you know, when I started in skincare was Glamour Genetics. And I feel like it's very appropriate for what I'm doing now. So my new website and everything looks amazing. It's going to be dropping soon. I'm really excited about it.
That's dope.
Thank you.
That's dope.
So that was your backup plan for if the entertainment industry didn't work out. You went to school for when did you decide between or whatever? Or
Well,
were you always going for cosmetics while you were doing all the other stuff, or would you? So
when I was 18, I went to cosmetology school, and I owned my own hair salon by the time I was 21. My first husband bought me the hair salon, and so after that,
you don't want to give him a shout out.
He gets a shout out every day. He's like one of my best friends, honestly. I've been knowing him since I was in 7th grade. We still co-parent our grown children. So he's super amazing, and he gets a shout out every day of my life, literally.
I love it.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. So I started there, and then when I got married to my new divorced husband, I was living on the East Coast, and I just couldn't find my way. And being married and being in the entertainment business is difficult when that one person doesn't really understand the dynamics of things, you know? Or if I really want to take it there and be successful in it, then there are certain compromises that you need to make. Well, we were already having a fuck shit bag of issues. So
that's a wild bag of issues.
Yeah, a fuck shit bag of issues. So on top of that, me coming back into the spotlight and then my daughter passing, it was just like so much. But I went to to aesthetic school when I was in New York because I was trying to find my way and I wasn't trying to do entertainment during the time because I really am an amazing housewife. I love being a wife. I love being married. Like, I love that. And so,
real quick, before we go any further, speaking of marriage, there's rumors out on the internet that you are recently married. Are those rumors true?
No, those rumors are not true.
Balling.
Not true. You're not currently married
to Jim Jones.
I am not married to Jim Jones. Listen, let me tell you guys something. This is the craziest viral that I've ever been in my whole entire life because I like wake up one day, I do my whole routine, read my devotionals and positive stuff, and then I go on my Instagram and I see like fake pages like, you took Jim, and I'm like, I didn't block the page. I said, who is Jim? Because the bitch is single. So I'm like, who is Jim? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what the hell is going on? And they just responded back with like laughing faces. I didn't think anything of it. I have been in my bag creating from my getting ready, relaunching my website, creating for my businesses, taking care of my personal business, my kids, like, I'm so off the radar, and sometimes you get to a point in your life where, this is where I have been for the last few weeks where God just kind of sat me quiet, and I've really just been in a very quiet space to myself. So when I see this, I'm like, who's Jim? Like, this is, they sent back the laughing faces. Now I'm seeing people commenting on my TikTok or my Instagram, and I'm still... It's not saying Jim Jones. Like, right. I'm not even thinking that, because that's so fucking random.
Do you know Jim Jones?
I do not. Like, I
you don't even know him?
No.
You never been in a picture with him?
This is what that was my next thing. They took pictures and edited from my wedding with my ex-husband and put Jim's face on it.
That is hilarious.
Damn.
So I when it first started happening, before it grew these legs and went viral this way, because it grew some legs and it just went running, like it ran a race. So before that happened, I went on my TikTok and once I figured out that it was Jim Jones, because now people are saying like I stole this woman's man. And I'm like, first of all, I love Chrissy. I think she's beautiful. I don't know her personally, but I've watched her over the years, And I'm a girl's girl. I don't need to steal nobody's man. It's so I could get my own man. Like, that's one thing that I don't have a problem doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I went on my TikTok and I said, okay, I'm going to go live. And I'm like, somebody's going to screen record it and they'll clear this up. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not going to post it on my page, but somebody could screen record it, send it to the blog, whatever. And I was like, look, you guys, I am not married to Jim Jones. Like, I do not know him. I think they're amazing. I don't know what they're going through. If they're going through something, not my business, not my fight. I'm on the West Coast. They're on the East Coast. Like, how did this even come about? So I do this whole, I don't know him. It's not true. The rumors are fake. Once I did that, people, even my friends were like, we know that you're private, and if you don't want to tell us, right? Because I'm like, no, it's not true. They're like, we know that you're private, and if you don't want to say anything right now, whenever you're ready to tell us. I said, girl, I'm fucking I'm private, but not that. I would tell my girls, you know what I'm saying? And like, where is he? where are the pictures? I'm on FaceTime with my friends. Like, you don't hear no man in the background. Like, this is nuts. So.
Wait a minute, did Jim reach out to you and be like, what the fuck?
No.
Nobody on their side even said what's going on?
Why would they ask me?
Well, because they don't know where it stemmed from. So
I don't either.
I know you don't.
Are you interested in Jim Jones?
No. I got a type.
Is this like a manifestation marriage? You guys are going to come together.
Listen, I'm newly divorced, so I'm chilling right now.
So it says, that's the thing. Your friends say you're very private. I'm looking stuff up, and it's like
Seems like you're private.
No one knows who.
She moves in silence.
No one knows who, like, the parent,
Yeah.
your baby daddies are.
Yeah, it's not
That's
their
why
business.
I was hoping you were gonna. I was like, oh, is she gonna shout one out?
He's private.
Yeah.
He's private. He lives a private life, and I respect that. You know, my life is my life. We're great friends. I literally just came from out of town with them, you know, and
It's being held down. The secret's being held.
it's not that it's a secret. It's just that I live a public-private life.
Yeah.
That's it. Some things are public.
How do you
some things
navigate that?
the same way I've been doing it for 20 years. If you don't know the juice, I don't gatekeep, but I might tell you after the podcast. Can't tell you right now, but yeah, I mean, you know, I put my life on the table, the things that pertain to me, you know, which include my children, who I'm in a relationship with at the time, if this is something that they're interested in doing. My family, you know, some of my family members are like, hell no. You know, some of my family members are like, cool, what's up? What do you need? And it's not so much because they're chasing something in television. It's just that you're a part of what's going on in my life right now. So I need you to tell your side or to put your 2 cents in or to give me advice like what we do in real life, you know, like my dad has appeared on the show with me, my mom, my brother, my daughter, my youngest son now as of recent, because he never did before, because I always protected him so much too because of the issues that he had over the years. We've talked about that. So, you know, my oldest son has appeared on the show, but my youngest son now is 20 years old, and I felt like, okay, you can make your own decision now, you know, but we have been through so much is that people didn't know. Like, I had heard rumors that, you know, I was a terrible mother and that I didn't raise my son and all this bullshit.
That must be so tough to deal with when you hear, like, you're married to Jim Jones, you're a terrible mother, and I know you to be such the opposite of that.
Right.
Like just the nicest, sweetest person.
Thank you.
And very serious in entrepreneurship and all that stuff, and then you hear these crazy things.
Yeah.
Does that drive you crazy?
No.
Damn.
No, it's like, you know, let me just say, when I first started in the business, Video Vixens, we didn't have a voice. You just saw us in music videos and that was it. So it was like when I did the video with 50 Cent and I was like, oh, it's like that, you know, that was a big deal. Like,
wait, what video was that?
That was Candy Shop.
Ooh. Candy Shop. Okay.
So yeah, so 50 and I are sitting on the bench.
I
And
knew I recognized you somewhere.
you know, you see, now you see the resemblance.
I seen them things.
So, you know, when I'm pointing at him and I'm like, oh, it's like that. That was such a big deal back then because I had a voice and Video Vixens don't. And so that was a big deal. Then being a Wild 'N Out girl, that opened up the doors for me to show, like, I can do improv, like, off the top of my head. I can do, like, rap battles, you know, like, we had fun. And then coming into television, having a voice and being able to tell your story, it's just certain things that I already, I guess, had thick skin from, you know, from starting off as a video vixen and starting in an industry that was dominated more with light-skinned women. And I had to, like, not so much fight for myself, but I did have to advocate for myself in a lot of ways, you know. But I did have producers like Benny Boom, Gil Green that were, like, amazing and just put you on the map and never question anything. Just like, you're a beautiful brown girl, like, I want you here, you know. And so and then doing covers of magazines and some girls feeling like, oh, you know, she don't deserve it, you know, and I do, like, why don't I? So I had tough skin from those things. And then hearing, like, you know, that I'm married to Jim Jones, which is a complete fucking lie. And then, you know, or that I'm a bad mom. It's like, no, like, I drove my kids to school, picked them up every day, track. My daughter was an MVP track star. She's in AP classes in high school. My son has been my oldest son has been in AP classes since junior high school, played football, was going to Memphis University for engineering. He can do numbers like a mathematician off the top of his head. Like, he taught himself stocks and like, he's amazing. You know, my youngest son has struggled over the years since a very young age, and I always protected him from this because it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's his story. I have my story with it, but it's his story to tell. You know.
The one thing you keep mentioning is like the issue between light skin and dark skinned girls or brown skinned girls. Is that really a real thing?
You know what's crazy is that I never knew it was a real thing
because I don't know it's a real thing either.
My whole family is light, bright, almost white. You know that,
right?
Like my mother is like your complexion. So my dad is dark skinned. My grandmother is like your complexion. You know, everyone ranges. I have some cousins that have blue eyes, blonde hair. Like my daughter was the darkest. Me, my sister cousin Tyler, her sister Olivia. We call ourselves the Brownies. We're the 4 brown girls in the family. All of my other cousins are light skinned. So growing up for me, that was never a thing. So I was always praised. My grandmother always says it, and she still says to this day, shout out to my grandmother. She's about to turn 98 November 13th.
That's dope.
Damn.
And
happy birthday, Grandma.
Yes. So she always says, I wish that I was dark skinned. All my dark skinned friends don't have wrinkles like me. So she's always like, you're aging so well. You're going to age well as you get older, you know. So that was never a thing for me growing up. I wasn't introduced to that until I started working into this industry.
Was Draya your first encounter?
No.
With light skin?
She wasn't my first. No.
He's a trouble starter.
I see.
He's quiet. He's quiet over there.
He's locked and loaded.
Yeah. He just picks his moment. So you gotta watch him. Keep your eye on him.
He's locked and loaded. She wasn't. I never experienced any light skin, dark skin stuff with Draya. That was never an issue of ours. Don't edit this and fuck it up.
No, I won't. Since we're talking about Draya, somebody mentioned that. What are your thoughts about the whole Draya and Jalen Green situation? Do you think
I'm not mad at it.
Right, she's getting unnecessary flack?
I think it's unnecessary. I'm not mad at it. It's 2 grown people. If it was my son, I probably would feel away. If it was my son, I probably would feel away. You know, she's an older woman. He's a young man. But I'm not mad at it. You know, I like to date young guys, too. Not that young, but, you know, a little younger. You know, they got a little bit more.
Youth.
Thank you. They got a little bit more youth. And so I'm not mad at it. You know, not that young. And my son is older, so I do try to be as respectful as possible in that area, dating younger men. So
if your son will bring in, like, you know, an older,
I wouldn't be happy. But
would you tell him?
Yes, I have
She got a voice.
I'm very direct. But one thing that I have told my son that I do feel, he's so mature. My oldest son, he's so mature. I have told him that maybe he should try to date a few years older than him. I have told him that because he just is so mature and he has such a great head on his shoulders and he's going to go so far in life and he's already ahead of his time and he has such an old soul that sometimes, you know, dating younger women is just not the thing for him because they might not be able to communicate and have the conversations that he's having because he's just sometimes when I'm talking to him, bro, what are you talking about? Write this shit down. What? A, B, and C. You know, but he is a scholar. You know, he's really intelligent. He's reading books that, you know, from authors who have passed away from the 1930s about stocks and investments, and like he's really in tune with a different world, and I love that for him. So I have given him that suggestion, but no one Draya's age now.
Okay.
Yes.
Watch him. I
will return.
He's not interested, I don't think. Maybe if it was a play date, he might, maybe, you know. But for someone to take someone serious at that age, I don't think that.
So you don't think the Draya situation is actually gonna? Do you think it's gonna work out for them? Do
I think they're gonna be together for a long time?
Yeah.
My honest opinion,
no.
I don't.
I don't either.
First of all, he's a ball player. Let's start there.
That's number one. With millions.
You know.
Yeah.
And am I mad at her?
Do you think she trapped him?
Trap, I'm not gonna say. I'm not mad at her. She said, listen, she is the one who coined the phrase, your wholeness can be deleted. So for someone who has a mentality like that or thinks like that, I'm not mad at her.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's her.
Somebody should have grabbed him by the hand, though.
Someone should, and no one did.
Someone would be like, come on.
She put that old thing on him. She put that old thing on him.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, there you go. There you go.
Got tricked.
Now they got some beautiful babies,
Babies?
Or a baby.
Oh, I'm going to say, damn, we got 2 already? Shit. She setting it up.
Isn't T.I.'s son with like a really older woman too having a baby or something?
I don't know. He's been married to his wife for a while.
Not T.I., his son.
I don't know.
Oh, is she older? The baby mom? Because I know they
older, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought so. Like 30 something.
Wow.
Isn't he like 19 or so?
Is she in her 30s? I know he just had a baby, but I didn't know
I think
the
she's,
woman or.
Is she in her 30s?
Oh, wow.
30 something.
Eddie, you're a very mature guy. How do you manage conversations with the youth?
That shit is so funny. That is so funny.
You like to date young? You like to date young?
Hey, listen, I've dated them as old
I know
as,
what you have.
I've dated them as old as 65.
Really?
And I did. I dated.
How was that?
Huh?
How was that experience?
She
Can
thought
we
I
turn
wanted
the
her.
air down a little bit? I'm
Yeah,
cold.
turn down the air.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
I told her to. She thought I was dating her for her money. I was like, I'm rich.
Duh.
I was like, I'm rich.
Right.
So that kind of felt weird. No one's ever told me that.
Right.
And now I know how women can be insulted by that because I was insulted.
How long ago was that?
That was maybe about 7-8 years ago.
Imagine.
Oh, so you were much younger then, and she was 65.
Imagine.
She was
You guys
65.
stayed together. She's like 72 today.
Yeah, that bitch is old as fuck now. But you know what? She was in shape, and she used to make, I think, the shoes for.
Don't tell who it is.
Oh, okay.
You
I don't remember her name.
Okay.
You know what it was? I was walking through the bank. This is how the story really goes. I was walking through the bank, and I had just
Expose her identity.
Listen.
I don't want nobody. Look, I came on here and talked about Jim Jones because it's
That's
not
my
a truth.
friend over there. You motherfuckers ain't my friend.
Exactly. Like, damn. They gonna let her expose her. I don't want to be exposed.
I'm like, go on.
Yeah.
I was walking. I got my card. I was walking through the bank, and this lady came chasing me down. It wasn't her. It was a millionaire matchmaker people. Because at the time,
my God.
I was driving a Rolls Royce. So she was just like, "Do you ever date? Da da da. I got this great woman for you." Da, da, da.
my God.
And then I went on a date.
Did you go on the show?
I didn't go out and go on the show, but they
Okay.
have an outside program where they actually hook people up together. I didn't know that part. And
Wow.
then
You still have the contact?
I do.
Okay, share it.
I got you. No, I got you. And you know what's so funny? I just gave it to my friend the other day too.
Hilarious.
Do they have a category for older women looking for young guys that don't want to work?
Yeah, there's rich women out there.
Okay.
That would take
Give him the contact.
Alejandro's looking for you, ladies. Looking for you guys.
I want to
But
take
yeah.
advantage of Social Security money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Because it
man.
might not be here for that much longer.
Yeah, it's pretty
Now
much over
here's
with.
another question I have for the basketball housewives, whatever.
Basketball wives.
Basketball.
Don't basketball housewives. Whatever. You go basketball housewives, whatever.
Every time I'm like, who are they married to? I gotta dig for the player that they're married to. What basketball player?
You don't have to be married to be on this
That's
show.
my question. What is the name? What's the title about?
Okay, so when Shawnee, now Henderson, but O'Neal originally started the show, she was divorced from Shaq, I believe.
Yeah, I think she was.
I think she was
divorced.
divorced from Shaq. And so she got some of her girlfriends together that had dated or been married to NBA players, and they started the show.
That's just how it started. And
That's
now
just
it's
how it
evolved
started.
into just like.
I mean, you don't have to be married. You could be a baby mama, side chick, dated, slept with.
Do you have to write that in when you know?
I mean, you talk about it like when
Is there
I
a side
watch.
chick Square. Is there like squares you guys check off on the application?
You talking to like their producer, you know, and you like, oh yeah, like well, I used to fuck around with or sneak around with, whatever. So, and it's about what business of yours you're comfortable telling the world, you know? So it's still crazy because the guy that I dated back in 2012 when I was first on the show, like it's 2024, when my name pops up, I'm married to a whole nother man. Sometimes they will put his name. I'm like, I don't even know where that man is at. Like, leave that man alone, you know?
When it comes to basketball, would you rather date an ugly but he's a starter? You know, he plays real minutes. Or like, you know, more of a cuter guy, but he's on the bench. He never gets minutes.
I don't have a type as far as like ugly and cute. Like, I like men.
But does it matter if he has playing time or not?
No, I'm not picky about that. I'm not like looking for a star player. I mean, I think I'm at an age now where the star players are younger than my kids. So that's not what I'm looking for. But, you know, that's not, when I meet someone, I'm not like chasing a bag. You know what I'm saying?
You only played 20 minutes today.
Yeah, no, because I'm not even like really following it like that, honestly. Like, you know, I'm supporting him and I'm showing up to the games, but I'm eating nachos with jalapenos and having a beer. So.
Do you ever think the WNBA is going to develop some sort of side chick situation that's waiting outside the locker rooms?
You think it has
I don't know. Is there?
I think that
is there like a
they said
community
it has.
of community of people chasing WNBA stars? You know what I mean?
I definitely feel like that they have lanes for that.
There should be a WNBA wives.
Yeah. Well, we have a WNBA player, Giselle, and her fiance were on the last season with me, and I actually married them. So I got my certificate.
You're an ordained minister in the house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We have a lot of religion on the We have a lot of religion on the show.
Yes. So I am an ordained minister, and I did marry them on the show. It was a great experience. It was my first time, and
That's dope.
Yeah, it was.
That's
it was
dope.
Really
Y'all having fun over there.
Yeah, it was great.
Alejandro, when you find that lady, we'll have a whole we'll have a ceremony on the show.
Yeah.
Brooke,
I need it quick and swift.
I got you. I'm good at what I do.
how do you feel about prenuptial agreements or even NDAs now?
I don't care so much about an NDA, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. Because if
Have you made a guy sign an NDA?
No, I've never been in a situation where I'm not even going to fuck with you if I feel like you need to sign an NDA. That's crazy to me.
Are NDAs even worth anything? I swear like everybody has one, but no one gives a shit.
I was going to say that next because if any situation gets to a certain level in the judicial system, then it doesn't mean shit. So who cares? And most people who sign NDAs don't have shit. So what are you gonna get? Like, in all honesty, what are you just gonna do? Have a screaming match? And with prenups, I feel like I'm not mad at that. I feel like people should protect themselves.
NDA comes out, you leaving?
If an NDA comes out, I'm not doing anything that I'm embarrassed or ashamed about. So I could talk about it. It's not, nobody could come out the closet and be like,
she grown.
Yeah, I'm a grown woman. I'm not doing, I don't have like some freaky fetish that I'm afraid to talk about. I'm not.
Oh, what is it?
I'm not afraid to talk about it. Like, I'm not sexually active right now, so I take care of myself and I watch a little porn on the side. So,
okay.
I think that's about norm.
What's your favorite kind? What's your go-to when you're logging in? Yeah.
Okay. It's threesomes. It is 2 girls and a guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alejandro.
Did I do that out loud?
We're all the same.
And it's not because that's what I'm doing on a regular. It's just it's like I'm kind of like a man in that sense. I like the visual part of it. So visually, that's what I want to see.
Now, are you practicing abstinence? Or are you just like, just not getting into it?
I just am not in a relationship with anyone or dating someone that I feel like that I'm gonna let fuck on me. Like, for what?
Including Jim Jones.
Including Jim Jones. I'm sure he's a really nice guy, but not getting this cat. Okay.
Damn.
So yeah, I'm just not.
Anybody out there you want to shout out? You looking to call? You know what I mean? Hey, what's up? You know. Trying to date anyone out there? You trying to get out here in the streets?
I don't do cat calls.
Well, you know, I'm just giving you a chance. You know, if you want to call somebody out,
I let men approach me.
She ain't a chaser.
Yeah, I'm not. I like to be
she's a chasee.
chased. I like to be chased.
Do you partake in snow bunny activities?
Snow bunny.
Oh, what does that mean? What
Like
the
the
You're
reverse.
dating white men.
that's
okay.
Are white dudes called snow bunnies?
Right, a snow bunny is a
Yeah,
bunny.
that's why are you referencing
Men
that
got
way?
bunnies
What
too.
the
Men,
fuck?
they're male bunnies.
Like a snow rabbit, maybe, or something.
Thank you.
What the fuck?
Snow
So
rabbit.
I guess he's
A
asking,
snow
would you date
thumper.
white
How about a
men?
snow
actually
thumper?
was
That's
just-
what we'll call them.
Exactly. I actually was just dating this white guy, and it's actually a white guy that I've talked to for many, many years prior to me getting married. And a lot of the guys that I was talking to prior to me getting married had resurfaced. So
They found out.
They found out.
They've been waiting.
They've been waiting.
They've been waiting in the wings.
Right? So we actually just used to talk a lot, and so we just had a great rapport. And so recently, you know, he invited me out on a date, and we did go out on a date, and it was actually really, really nice, and it was different from what I'm used to. I'm cleaned up, but I'm a hood chick.
How white? We talking?
Very. He used to play Major League Baseball.
Oh my
He was
God!
a star.
Oh, well, I was just gonna tell you, like white people are with the long game. You know, we play baseball, we go fishing.
Yeah,
It's like we
I
can
like
wait.
fishing.
You should just wait a long time for things.
No, I like
he was just
fishing.
over there waiting.
I'm into that kind of stuff. So my family's from Oklahoma, so I went and I was on farms growing up every summer.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
would milk cows and do all of those.
What
good
was the
things.
date like? What?
The date was amazing. Actually, he cooked dinner for me.
Oh, okay.
He has a beautiful home.
Got
We
you to the
rode
house
his golf
first date.
cart around the neighborhood, and we had wine. Well, I had wine, and we had Netflix and chill, and then we played with his dog, and we just had a great conversation. He wasn't pressed, you know what I'm saying? He told me, he was like, I'm a little nervous, you know, and I was just like, that's cute, you know, and I appreciate it. Like, I'm glad you're nervous because we're not fucking. But it was nice and it was different. I never had sex with a white guy, so I don't know what that. I like. I'm trying to use my proper words because I don't want to.
Why you
Intercourse.
don't clean it
No,
up?
I'm not talking about intercourse. I'm saying I like niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like, you gotta have one thing that I did learn on that day is if I'm gonna date a white boy, he gotta have some swag. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta be grown,
He gotta-
raised,
he gotta
raised
have
by
like
wolves.
a little,
Yeah.
a little edge to him. You know what I'm saying? So I am.
It's a rare breed.
It is. You know? Yeah, I see. Look, it's only one in the room.
That's right. There's only one out
He
here.
only has black friends.
I can see.
He doesn't like white people at all.
That's
Wow.
partially true.
That's crazy.
But I'm from a town like 395 people in Nebraska. So I grew up with only white people.
Yeah, so you're over
I had to
it.
get out of there.
Yes. I understand. Yeah, so it was really, really nice, and it was a breath of fresh air, honestly. You know, so because I've just been in a stage in my life where I'm just now at a point where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to be someone's woman again.
And it's dating season too. Holidays are coming. You know,
I don't
starting
care
to
about
get-
that because I spend holidays with my family. I have a huge family.
Oh, okay.
Like a big, I have a big fucking family. My grandmother's about to turn 98. It's like 5 kids of hers. It's like 20-something grandkids. It's like 17 or more great grandkids.
Got good genes. What's
Oh.
your grand? What's the secrets she's telling you?
Well,
you
my
put that
grandmother
into your.
is from Oklahoma.
Okay.
She grew up on a farm. They grew their own food. They hunted their own meat. They cured their meat.
She's still there?
No, my grandmother's in LA now, and she still does a lot of her old school remedies. And like the only thing that she has going on is arthritis. She's 98. She just started walking on a walker in the house. But other than that, she'll go and make her coffee in the morning. She will make her something to eat. She'll wash dishes. She folds her towels. Like if we go wash them for her and bring them, she likes to do things like that.
She's still socially active everywhere with all that kind of stuff.
Because she has a very sharp mind. She's like
That's so dope.
We can't just tell her something and she's gonna be like, okay, she has an opinion. Yeah. She's been doing this way longer than us.
Because I'm always looking at like blue zones, which are people who live over 100 years old, and like it's always like, you know, they stay socially active with friends.
Yeah,
and
she
like,
does puzzles of like 1,000 to 500 pieces. Yeah. She plays her games on her iPad. She watches her old school shows. Her aunt just passed away a few years ago. She was 102.
Damn.
So like we have a really long history of women in our family that live a long age. That's why, like, when my daughter passing was such a tragedy, because we have never experienced that. Like, literally every funeral that I had ever been to in my whole life was of an elderly person in my family, you know? So we didn't have no young deaths. Like, so that was kind of like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah. Can you share anything with like other parents that have lost their kids or anything like that, or just what you,
I could share
how you got through, or?
Yeah, I'm not through it, but it's like a lifetime. You're gonna live with it for the rest of your life. You're just gonna learn how to live with it. And for me, I go to the gym, I work out. I am a Christian, you know, and I was actually fasting for 3 days, and I came off my fast the day that she passed away. And I thank God that I was in that space mentally, because I feel like that helped me keep my sanity. Because getting that call, it's still surreal, you know, just thinking about it today. And so it's kind of like, I knew immediately that I had to go to therapy. With the things that I had dealt with my youngest son, you know, we had done family therapy and separate therapy. So I was already very familiar with that and an advocate for it. So I knew that off the back, like, I got to do therapy. And at the time, too, my ex-husband and I were in marriage counseling because we were trying to figure out if we were going to save our marriage. And so it just kind of, and he also had lost his oldest daughter. So, you know, it was kind of like we had that. So when our marriage counseling turned into like marriage and grief counseling at the same time. And it was just heavy. And during that time, I was just like, I don't want to be a wife. You know, it's too much responsibility. I'm grieving. He was still lying, you know, and it was like, we could get over things if you could be honest, you know what I'm saying? But if you just, a cheater and is a liar, and a liar is a thief. That's how I feel. But I felt like if you can be honest about the things that I'm asking, we can move past that. We couldn't move past that, and I'm trying to grieve my daughter. It was just too many pieces to the puzzle, you know? And so with my daughter and with other parents out there, the only thing that I really can tell you is that you can't run from it. You can't run from it. It's not going nowhere. I tried to run from it a few times, and when you run from it, it just sends you deeper down into a rabbit hole. And, you know, people, you know, see me on social media or see me on television or see me out and I don't look like what I've been through. So they're like, oh, she's fine. You know, no, I'm not. I'm fucked up. You know? You know what I'm saying? I just take care of myself, you know, to make sure that I'm able to live my life, because I know that that's what my daughter will want from me. And you have to give their death some type of purpose. And that's what I've done. You know, my daughter was feistier than me. She was more beautiful than me. She was sharper than me and very vocal, more vocal than I am. And we had a very good relationship. And I know that she will want me to continue to live my life, and that she wants me to be successful. And, you know, she was following in my footsteps. So the plan was for us to win together. You know, and now that she's not here, I still got to win. Right. You know, I got to win for us. So, yeah, a lot of people say therapy doesn't work for them. Group therapy doesn't work for me. But what I have done is created my own community of other mothers that I have met in my industry or outside of my industry that have lost their children. And we talk and we support each other, and we're there for each other, because women and men deal with things differently. My father lost his oldest son. You know, so I was in elementary school when that happened, so I didn't understand it, you know, and then he's been, you know, able to give me advice on where I am, and it's your own journey. Because your grief is not mine and mine is not yours. You don't feel like how I feel and I don't feel like. One thing that does irritate me is when people try to say, I know how you feel. You don't. You don't. Because I'm my own person and I had 25 years with my daughter. You might have had a month, a day with yours. You might have had 30, 40, 50 years with you. I don't know how you feel. You don't know how I feel. So I don't like that when people try to compare grief. We can compare emotions. And we can compare, you know, how to transition into the next stage of grief because there are stages of it. And in every stage is new and it hits you different. And you got to take care of yourself. Like this shit will drive you crazy. It will.
People kind of watch you for your fitness routine and life routine. What's your daily... Yeah. What's your daily routine look like? What should people be doing?
Vitamins from My Life Cleanse.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
We got mylifeherbs.com, and I definitely take my hair, skin, and nail vitamins. And this is something that I really want to address because it irritates the hell out of me. So even with me just dropping my hair oil, it's argan Moroccan oil. It's all natural products. People say, Brooke, you were born with that hair. Well, bitch, I got to take care of it. It's not going to just stay like this. Like, my hair has been damaged before. I have cut my hair into a bob before because it was so damaged. I have to take care of it. So it's like, you were born, you're misleading people. No, like, I literally am an advocate that what you put on the inside is how you look on the outside. And what you do on the outside helps to maintain what you're doing on the inside. So if I'm taking my hair, skin, and nail vitamins and I'm detoxing and I'm working out and I'm drinking my water, then bitch, you should too.
That's right. That's what you should be doing.
You know?
Now, Brooke, I know one of your good friends in the industry is Nicki Minaj. How did that relationship come about?
I love Nicki. So, gosh, let me tell you. So we were at a house party, like I can't even tell you how many years ago. It was a long time ago, and like in Hollywood. And we were drinking, and I was with my sister cousin Tyler and some other girlfriends, and it was over. So we're walking out. She's walking out in front of me, and she is, you know, her security's around her, and I started screaming, hey, Nicki, you so fine, you blow my mind, ooh, Nicki, you know, so she turns around and she give me a little smile, you know, and it was just like a joke, and I had been drinking, it was fun, and I think she's beautiful. So then shortly after that, she did a post of me on social media. That's when people would do like WCW.
Right.
And so I think this is when the first time I was on Basketball Wives in 2012. And I was her WCW, and she was like, I like her voice, her swag, her this, her that. And so then shortly after that, I moved to New York, and once I moved to New York, you know, then I had another group of friends, and then they also knew her, and then we all just started hanging out, and it was just like a vibe. You know, it was kind of like Girlfriends, the show Girlfriends.
Right.
You know, it was just such a vibe, a great dynamic, and just a lot of fun. So, yeah. And then, you know, from that point on, it just blossomed.
Dope.
Yeah.
Did you inherit the beef she has with Cardi B?
I mean, do you beef with your friends, frenemies, or do you stay neutral?
I wouldn't say, I'm not sure neutral, but I don't know if I would mess with them so much.
Same. I'm a very loyal person. So I would feel a way if, you know, I had like a serious beef with somebody about some serious shit, and my friends that I'm close with, that I confide in, that I talk to, if they still had a relationship with that person or they stay neutral. I don't want to be friends with that. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Pick a side. Pick a side.
It's not like, it's like high school where it's like, you can't be friends with this person because, you know, they talk to, you know, my ex. Like, I don't care about that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I care if there's some real life shit going on, the bitch, pick a side. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, pick a side. It's simple to me. It's like, what's the issue? And especially if I didn't have a relationship with her, so it's easy for me to cut somebody off if I don't have a relationship with you. Don't fuck with them, cool. I don't even know them. I don't fuck with them either. You know what I'm saying? Like, What's the issue? So I could see if it was a friend group and then like two of the friends got into it and then we're all trying to figure it out and salvage friends. That ain't it. It's like, I don't know her, so shit. You know, you know, it is what it is. It's like, I mean, it's not like, oh, when I see you, it's on sight. It's just, you know, I'm a grown up too. But it's just like, all right, I'm rocking with my homegirl.
Did anyone ever try to get you to start rapping? Because I could see that so possible.
Yes.
Because of your swag, everything so beautiful and all
Thank you.
All those things. I could just see they like, nah, throw her ass in the studio.
When I was a Wild and Out girl, because we used to do freestyles. And so, you know, the red team against the black team.
Right.
And I would always do really, really well. And this guy was like, you should rap. And I was like, I'm not a rapper. Like, bitch, I want to wear diamonds, go to dinner, and travel. Like, I am not trying to do that. It just wasn't something that was on my radar to do. But, you know, recently I did do a cypher with BET, and it was so much fun. Like, I had a ball.
And you freestyle?
No, I did.
Or you was prepared?
No, I freestyle. Well, I wrote my own lyrics, but it was like a week in advance, so I didn't get the beat until like a night or two before, so I didn't have a lot of time. And then they had Rhapsody and Jadakiss there to be our rap coaches and to help us, because I was like,
that's
girl,
dope,
because I had wrote it all proper and shit, you know. And she was like, nah, sis, we gotta say, you know, duh, you know, M. So I'm like, all right, yeah, that makes more sense. So once she like helped edit what I already wrote, then it was like, all right. And then I'm like, you rap it first. And then she rapped it first on the beat. And then I was like, all right. I mean, I wasn't great at it, but it was fun.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Dope. How do you deal with, like, you know, social media trolls and people get under your skin and shit like that? You know,
let me tell you, I lost my daughter.
There.
Nothing in life can get under my skin. I have no control over anything. I learned that day. Nothing in this world gets under my skin. It's not nothing that anybody could say to me, do to me, that will physically, that's going to hurt me. Nothing. I lost that emotion that you're born with when someone says, nah, 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 and hurt your feeling. You go home run crying to your mom. I don't have that anymore. You know, it's like, what? All right, have a good day. That shit is personal. That has nothing to do with me. Like a troll, like you really had time to sit on the internet, make a fake page, and say some shit to me that I'm just going to block you. I'm not going to respond. And it didn't fuck my day up.
What was like the craziest DM you ever got, or somebody saying some crazy shit to you?
The craziest DM that I ever got is from guys. And most of the guys, they're like personal trainers, and they're like jacking off. And
Damn,
why
jacking off?
Why they gotta be personal trainers? Yeah, I am, but I'm not sending jack off videos around the internet.
We don't know. We don't know if he's not sending them.
Why they all gotta be trainers?
No idea.
Hey, were there any white guys?
They weren't white.
Trainers, you're sick. You fucking trainer.
They weren't white.
Damn.
But literally, they were personal trainers, and they're like,
They weren't white. I gotta send some out then for the white culture.
You gotta get,
I gotta get in the mix.
Yeah, but it's like literally, and they'll
They
be
show
like,
their face?
their page is open. They're personal trainers. They're in.
Maybe they're just looking for a client.
Not
They try to show you trying to show you their body.
That's a terrible technique.
Trying to show you
What
their
kind of
body.
training are they doing with their penis?
It's a
Good
muscle.
training.
It's a muscle.
A lot of training.
It's a muscle.
There's training
That's
involved in that,
crazy.
you know?
Well, since now we're talking about freakiness,
Oh, here
you
you
know.
go. You're in trouble now.
Alejandro,
You've been in Black Hollywood now, you know, for a little bit. I like to party. Seems like you like to party. You ever been to a Diddy party?
I have. I've been to a Diddy party. We were in Vegas. This is when I was a Wild and Out girl, and they were having like a house party or something. And I was outside on the patio area, so but it was a house.
And he believes he's getting railroaded.
I didn't see anything
Who said
crazy.
that? You said what?
That you believe he's getting railroaded.
Something's happening. I'm not saying the thing about Diddy for me is obvious. The thing that I noticed about it, there's not a lot of people coming to his aid.
Right.
So therefore, when I see that, I automatically think he may not have been the nicest person.
Did you ever see a lot of people come into any of the men's aid that have been in this situation? Russell Simmons, R. Kelly. Did you see that?
Bill
Cosby comes to their aid at every
Bill Cosby. Did you see a lot of people coming to their aid when they were at the bottom?
See,
Let's
this
be
is
realistic.
why Brooke is here. Brooke is very smart, and she's right about that. But you know how I know a lot of people, just like you know a lot of people. I don't hear a lot of nice things, and I don't like that part.
Do you hear a lot of nice things about men in power with that much money and that much power before they're even in this situation? Let's be realistic. You don't. You
Well,
hear and
I
see-
think a real powerful man never ever abuses his power.
and they're usually not the richest men either.
Yeah.
Financially.
Yeah.
They're rich in other areas, and that's why they're successful and still walking these streets. Let's be honest. So your money, your cockiness, your fame, your fortune, and you feeling like you're untouchable is gonna do what?
Yeah.
Make you fall flat every time.
I don't know. And you know what it is? This is where I feel. I feel like they're stealing a lot of our heroes. Or they stealing a lot of the people that we kind of admired. It seemed like there's some.
they?
Are they stealing them?
Who's they?
Huh?
You know who's they?
Who?
Are they
White
stealing
people. You know I don't fuck with white people. I don't fucking care for them. But what I'm saying is, it just seems like there's. Listen, Diddy's a whole nother subject. The other people I was more for, like Bill Cosby. I was fighting for Bill.
Is it because he's elderly?
No. You know the reason why I was fighting for Bill is
it was
because
like
of the fact.
ecstasy back in the day.
Yeah,
you know?
it wasn't really a drug,
You know?
and I didn't hear anyone say that he was sneaking it in their drink. A lot of these people came back and
Some
forth.
women,
and,
some women did say that.
Oh, okay.
Some women did say
And
that.
I don't necessarily believe those women.
Some women said they
We don't read
woke up
deep into the court
But then
case.
those same women though was like, yeah, I went to go see him the next month after that. That's tough.
It's true.
That's tough.
It's all tough. It's all tough because, but this is the thing about it. Let me tell you why it's tough. Because
Okay.
who I was last month is not who I am this month. So it's kind of like maybe she felt away in that moment. We don't know what type of incentive he said, and we don't know what her situation was. And she was like, you know what? It wasn't that bad. This one. Like, no, for real.
No,
like,
that's real.
I'm not the same woman that I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
A lot of people, guys be like, yeah, I know her. Nigga, no, you don't. You don't know this version of me. You know what I mean? So it's like,
If you ain't evolving, you're dying. You know what I mean?
exactly.
should be
This
changing,
is very
right?
true, but this also goes along with the things that we're saying about these men that have been in these situations of power and the women that have been victims. And maybe at the time they didn't realize that they were a victim. And that's why sometimes it takes women a long time to come forward. And sometimes these men, white, black, whatever, Hispanic, whatever, Spanish. Yeah, you in it too. You in it too. Yes.
You don't hear a lot of powerful Hispanic men going down on charges.
This is true.
They're out there. They're fucking out there. They're out there.
They're not
Maybe some
many
of the worst ones. You know, they just got mafia ties, so we be quiet.
Exactly.
But seriously, it's like, let's just be realistic. I feel like men that are rich in spirit, rich in mind, rich in soul, have different values from men who are rich in fame, rich in finances.
You can't be both.
Name one.
Me. I'm nice to everybody.
You a fucking asshole sometimes. Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
You just said you hate white people.
I'm just a little impartial to white people. They just be fucking with me.
Yeah, that's
He's
fine.
very cool, but when I'm rolling my eyes half the time that we're texting. Sometimes I'm just like, it's fucking asshole, and it's not in a way of that. I feel like you're like one of those guys.
I don't
Like
think
you're
he
not a
notices.
creep.
I don't think he notices.
He
when
knows he's an asshole.
I'm definitely probably
But do
an
you
asshole.
notice when you do asshole things?
No,
I
because
don't think
he's
I
so
really
used
do.
to it.
He doesn't see
know what
that.
You know,
irritates me?
this is the best thing. This is the best thing about me before you crucify me some more.
I'm gonna give you your accolades.
The best thing about me is that I'm always open to a conversation, and I will say I'm sorry, and I'll literally move forward from that point on. Be like, nah, fuck it. It's over with. We gone. Let's go.
What I'll give you is you're honest.
Very.
Yeah.
Very.
So that's a good quality.
That's a great quality. No, he has a lot of great qualities. AD, you know, I think you're an amazing guy.
You're honest.
No, I think he's an asshole. But I think he's an amazing guy. He just has some things that really irritate me. Like if you text me in the morning, instead of saying like good morning, it's like my guy didn't wake up until, and I'm like,
you know,
and then I text back, good morning, how are you?
That's exactly what she does. I mean, damn, I'm fucking up.
Yes. I'm like, let me just lead by example.
That is absolutely true.
Usually he's just in and out, like the time, constructive time doesn't really matter to AD, you know what I mean?
It
He's not on a
matter.
time schedule.
Good morning,
his sleep schedule is like
night,
this, so he doesn't know if it's morning or night. You know
I
what I
hope
mean?
you're
He
having
just
a
goes
great
straight
day.
into the
This is the
convo.
information that I got now. You know what I mean? It's like he just goes straight into it, and I'm like, this shit irritating. You know why my mother was such a stickler on phone etiquette growing up? Like when people would call and she wasn't home, like we had a list. Hi, how are you? Yes, my mother's not home. Is there a message that you would like to leave?
Damn.
You know, good morning. But that's proper etiquette.
Absolutely.
And you don't have it.
Yeah, but now you
my mother was slacking in that area, and you know I'm gonna call her today. I'm be like, it's some shit you need to work on.
Yeah, but now you just text letters and it means things. So everything's
This
evolved
is true,
into shorter
but he doesn't
things.
even put
You know what
GM.
I mean?
You know, I would appreciate a GM, a GA, good afternoon.
I definitely got some GMs in me. I'm ready
What about
now.
like a
I'm
hey?
ready for our next
Yes,
text. I'm ready. I'm ready.
It's like I'm rolling my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, no fucking phone etiquette. That irritates me. So, yeah. Other than that, he is a great guy. Like, if I say, look, shit going on right now, it's not a good time. He's like, cool, hit me when you ready to talk. Like, you know what I mean? So, I think we have established a good relationship, personal and business.
For sure.
That's nice. What was the point of all that? To say you were saying you were nice? You were like not one of these guys, or like what?
I thought I was, but maybe I might have some of their characteristics.
He was saying, can the men not have both? Because I said you're rich in spirit, you know, rich in you know, just men. Some men are rich in other areas than finances, and the men who are rich in other areas outside of finances and fame tend to have longevity in the things that they're doing, and I think that you are in that circle. So
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
I don't feel like you're in the rich of, even though you know a lot of people, but I don't think that you're in that realm of, you know, the fame and the rich and, you know, the creep shit. So
Are there a lot of predators in the industry?
I really didn't experience that. I think that when I walk into a room that
you can't mess with her. You don't see, like it don't even work. She be like, come on.
I'm like the home girl. You know what I'm saying? Like I
don't think you the home girl. Let's not even say that. Because you still bad as a motherfucker.
Yeah,
you still
but
fine.
guys don't come at me with the bullshit.
They don't come at, because I think they know automatically that this ain't gonna work.
Right.
I can't use this style. They gotta come. They gotta rewrap that.
I'm the fox.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like guys can't fox me.
Right.
You know, I'm the fox. So it's kind of like, you know, a fox is like smooth and, you know, not like, you know, just smooth, like, and uses their words properly and a little slick, you know.
Where'd you get that gift from? Just being around?
I've been outside since I was 16, and I was not always on the straight and narrow path. You know, I was hanging in groups of men that were doing things that I had to learn how to move properly in those environments and out of those environments. So I have a great reputation, not only in the streets, but also in Hollywood, and people respect me because they know where I come from, who I've been around. It's kind of like when they say, like, a man gets with a younger woman, like an older guy, and kind of like raises her or, shows her the way. Mm-hmm. And that was me at a really young age, messing with a guy who was involved in the streets, So it was like I had to move a certain type of way. I had to carry myself a certain type of way. I had to know what to speak about, what my eyes see, what they don't see. And all of those things, I think, when I walk in, people can kind of get that vibe from me.
And I think people know that you can still make that call if you got to make that call.
That too. Mm.
So what advice would you have somebody who's younger, maybe
wants to be a video
in the same type of situation, moving through the LA streets, trying to make it out? What do you got for that girl? What advice you got for her?
What I would tell my younger self.
Yep.
Let's do that. What I would tell my younger self.
That's exactly what I meant.
Mm-hmm. What I would tell my younger self, because what a lot of people don't know is like, like I went to JC's and all that stuff, but I didn't graduate high school. I didn't get my high school diploma until I was 40. And it wasn't because I wasn't smart, and I just dropped out of school, and I dropped out of school because I wanted to live that lifestyle. And I wish that I would have went to college and did things the right way, whether I worked a 9-to-5 or had a career job or was an entrepreneur or not. That's one thing that I do wish that I had under my belt. Not like that I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sad I don't have it, because I've made millions of dollars. So, without having a high school diploma, I did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's just something that I wish that I would have done, because even when I preach it to my children, it's kind of like, how can you preach something that you didn't do? Do we need to wait for that?
No, it's cool.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm used to being on set.
Do it again.
Yeah, or no, we just stop. The ambulance goes, but we just stop because it's like you can't hear what I'm saying. Right. We gotta edit it out. Yeah. So anyways, so I would tell that girl, honestly, to get your shit together now. There's a new 18-year-old girl being born, turning 18 every single day. It's a new 21-year-old girl turning 21 every day. And beauty doesn't always get you through. You have to have something to fall back on. And everyone that is in that life or has lived that life is not going to come out the way that I did. I'm blessed. Honestly, I'm blessed. God carried me through. I have a praying grandmother, a praying mother, and I feel like that's what carried me through. And I learned a lot from that business on how to be an entrepreneur the right way. So, and I never was just the type to be able to go to work and I'm like, every 2 weeks I know how much money I'm bringing home.
What kind of obstacles you see moving through entrepreneurship as a female in male-dominated industries?
Yes, where AZ and I argue. So
I just listened to Brooke. I don't know what we talk about. I just listened to Brooke.
It's crazy. I really don't honestly look at it that way. I don't feel like being an entrepreneur, I don't feel like it's male dominated. I feel like Black women have taken entrepreneurship by the balls and ran with it, and I feel like we're doing an amazing job. And I feel like, certain faces and swag could get indoors before others. And I feel like women are able to walk into these doors, and if they have, the gift of gab and they know what they're talking about and they're well versed and they look the part, that they're going to be able to stay inside of those doors, versus a man who comes in with this cocky attitude, trying to be an entrepreneur, thinking that he knows everything. Because I learn something new every single day, and I started this entrepreneur shit like literally making so many mistakes, wasting so much money, and doing it all wrong. So I had to learn. And men come in and, they want to be a chief and not an Indian. You can't always be that. So sometimes you have to learn how to be an Indian. And that's why I feel like women right now are winning.
All right. What do you want to talk? You got a nonprofit? You want to talk about? You want to throw a shout out the nonprofit? What's going on with that?
Thank you. So I have K&B Life Inc., which is Kayla Nicole Bailey. Her name is Kayla Nicole Ford Bailey. And I started her nonprofit after she passed. And we raised money. She was in cosmetology school. She was a lash tech. She was in the beauty industry. She's been on the television show with me. She's been a hair model. She's modeled. She's done any and everything that I've done and even more, because she can make wigs. Like she's so good with her hands. And so I started this to help young girls. I remember her struggling, and she was living with my ex-husband and I at the time. And she wanted to go to beauty college because she had went away to college. She was like, I'm so homesick. So I was like, all right, come home, and I was like, what are you going to do? She's like, well, I want to go to beauty school. Cool, you got to pay for it. So my rule and their dad's rule was that if they graduate high school and go to a university, that we pay for their lifestyle until they graduate. Anything else that you want to do, even if it's a secondary school, then it's your responsibility. So I'm over here, I'm paying your car note, I'm paying your phone bill. You don't want to go to school no more. What are you going to do? So it's like, now you got to get a little job and you got to go to cosmetology school and you got to pay for it. So she was doing that, and it was a struggle. So it'd be like times that, we would surprise her with like a cashier's check to help her pay for school. Because I know that it was hard, and so now we give back to young women that are trying to either start school. Sometimes they can't pay their graduation fees. Sometimes they can't buy their books or their supplies that they need, or even finish paying the tuition to get their certificate to be able to go to the board. So we raised money, and I threw an amazing fundraiser, and John Sally was the host. And then I threw a brunch after that. I had 2 schools that we gifted nice size checks to be able to help their students in honor of my daughter.
Are these like cosmetology specific schools, or like schools like that, or is it just any school you want to?
I've had people to reach out to me from everywhere, but I focus on one school in Leimert Park, which is not far from the neighborhood that I'm from. So I felt like that was important because I'm also representing for my community. And then also a school that is in Arizona, and it was actually the school from the woman that I bought my hair salon from when I was 21. She opened a beauty college.
That's dope.
So I helped her students at her school as well.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, you help people, you get paid back later.
Yeah.
Circle of life.
Exactly.
As a businesswoman and entrepreneur,
yes,
the elections results, do you think it's going to help you or hurt you?
I'm not focused on that, because guess what? At the end of the day, God has the last say. I mean, I keep telling you, I know that everybody's not religious, and, I feel like it's already written, whatever it's going to be. Because I never thought that at 17, with my side of the car getting shot up, why didn't I get shot and die? To live all these years to have my daughter taken away from me and to have to live life with this type of pain. It was already written. I was supposed to live so that I can tell my story, so that I can help other people. So no matter which way the election goes, it's not the final say. It's not the final say. You have to put in the work. Right. Well, however much work I put into whatever I'm doing, I'm going to see the fruits of my labor. Doesn't matter who is elected.
Okay.
Brooke, you got to start a podcast.
I'm going to start a podcast.
It's so much wisdom and honesty and truth over there. It's crazy.
Thank you.
And just, giving people the hard facts about life, I think is beautiful. And you should definitely consider doing that.
That's next.
Okay, good. You have a name for your podcast?
I have actually like 20 names, and 10 that are like my faves. But I have 20 names, 10 that are my faves. And the hardest thing about the podcast, of the name of the podcast, I would say, is making sure that it's universal. So it's the same way that I started off Skin by Brooke Bailey, and now my business has expanded so much from skin care, cosmetics, and now I'm going into hair care. So I want to make sure that I pick the perfect name, because I've been through so many different trials and tribulations in life that it's not focused on one thing. You know, it's like girlfriend talk on the couch with a glass of wine, and we're just popping shit and talking about real life things, you know? So it's like, I'm not going to just be on there talking about my daughter every time, or my son with mental health, or my son that, you know, is doing amazing, or my divorce is I've just experienced. Some people go through life without experiencing any trauma. Like, shout out to fucking you. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to you. God just felt like I was one of his greatest soldiers, and I'm like a lieutenant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got Purple Hearts and all type of shit. I done been to war and back. So I have a lot of things that I can talk about, and because of what I've been through, you know, the best teacher is experience, right?
Right.
So it's like, you know, me waiting until I was 40 to get my high school diploma. Like I said, it wasn't because I was stupid or I couldn't do it. Like, I went to college before I had a high school diploma. You know what I'm saying? And I was still good. I can get through. I could do it. You know,
Right.
I'm reading the book and I'm answering the fucking questions. It's not hard. So the hard part is talking about things that you have no experience in. That's hard, because you can't tell me nothing about what I'm saying if you didn't experience it. You ever been
Absolutely.
shot at? You know what I'm saying? If you haven't been shot at, if you never looked and saw a fucking pistol in your face, then you don't know. If you never got a call that your child passed away, you can't tell me shit. Like, this is my experience, you know? And on top of these being my experiences, I have taken the proper protocol to be able to share it, live in it, help others. I couldn't even tell you the outpour of DMs and emails that I received from parents and comments that they're like, you're helping me. You're helping me. And I don't even know that I'm helping. I'm just living my everyday life. And I don't post when I'm in my rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? I go in my rabbit hole sometimes. I have my hard days. It's not easy. It's not always pretty, you know? But I ride the wave because I've already experienced running from it. So I just have experience in a lot of different areas of life, and I love to be able to talk about it and share it, and I'm not ashamed or embarrassed because it built who I am today, and I love who I am. So I'm in a great, happy place in my life. Like, this is the happiest that I've been in a really long time.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Well, we appreciate you coming in today and sharing that wave with us.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me and giving me the opportunity, because, you know, a lot of people don't get to always hear like the raw version of things from me. You just see, you know, a reel or a picture on social media, and then you see me on Basketball Wives ready to drag a bitch, and it's like, oh, that's who she is. You know? It's like, no, I have so many more layers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't want to fight people. You know, I just want to. I'm a lover, not a fighter. You know.
Yep. So leave them with one thing that they think they should know about you that you don't think people know. Something your fans wouldn't know, but you want them to know about. Brooke Bailey.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. You know, like, I will fight, but that's not like my first line of defense. That's just what you guys see in like 42 minutes of the show airing, you know, is that I have a bad temper, and I've worked on that. I've worked on it.
Man, she seems fun.
Yeah. I promise I have. No, but I'm a really hard worker. Like, I love passionately, and I know, like, I have a potty mouth and all that stuff, but I'm just me, you know, and I know my strong points. I know my weak points. I'm not perfect. I'm human, you know, and I'm just me, and I love being me, and I share all the parts of me with the world unapologetically. And, you know, if you don't like it, don't follow me. You know, you don't have to leave me a nasty comment. I don't care. It doesn't, you know, change anything. I'm not going to change, you know. So I'm just going to keep getting better. And that's with, not in a cocky way. I'm just going to keep growing, you know, in life and doing better. And I hope that, you know, if I'm able just to touch one person out there when I'm sharing my story, then I did my job.
Dope.
Oh, well, again, thank you for coming in and sharing your story with us. Shout out to the cosmetic brand renaming.
Yes, Glamour Genetics.
Glamour Genetics. Shout out to the
nonprofit.
KND Life Inc.
And shout out to you in general.
Wait a minute, and shout out to My Life Herbs.
Yeah, My Life Herbs. Not bad.
My
Okay.
Life Herbs. nerves.
Well, I didn't know if you guys were doing it or if it was an old thing. You said you revamping her.
Listen.
Let's bring it back.
If anybody knows anything about Brooks makes millions.
Yeah.
Period. In the discussion.
In 10 months, like off the internet, sleep money, sleep coins.
It was a beautiful thing.
10 months.
We're bringing it back.
Yeah, what's the problem?
It's back. I'm filming it. I've been filming a show. I've had personal things going on. Y'all pray for my youngest son right now. Like, let me tell you, I talked about me fasting, right? I was fasting when my daughter passed, and I was fasting because my son had got arrested, my youngest son, during the time that my daughter passed. But so he found out why he was locked up. So now it's been over a year. He was supposed to it's 2 years now. Yeah, 2 years now. And he was supposed to do his community service. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. He just got picked up like a night or two ago. And so now I'm dealing with that. Like, it's literally one thing after another has been happening. But look, I'm a soldier. I'm still showing up. I'm still handling my business. I don't even know how sometimes. I'm just doing it. And, you know, that's my child. You know I don't feel like he's built to be in that situation, but I got to do what I got to do as a mom to be there for him, you know. And so it's just been like one thing after another. But I still have a smile on my face. I'm still in good spirits. And all I could do is pray for him. And I'm happy that he's now going to be able to take care of this and put it behind him and come home. He's very young and start a new path and be able to really start his life, because this has been something that's been hindering him. But I'm also a black mom, so I ain't turning my son in. I ain't doing none of that. It's like, you know what I'm saying? If you get caught, cool. If you want to turn yourself in, cool. But I'm not the mom to be like, I'm driving you down to the police station.
Yeah, fuck that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a black son. Like, I'm not doing that. You know, that's crazy. So, you know, you could agree with it or not.
Would you drive your white son to the police station?
I would not.
Definitely.
I would not listen.
You're not gonna get in trouble.
It's just like, can you guys go back home?
Right. No, it's so crazy too. But the one good thing, like I tell my son, he really doesn't know how blessed he is, because when that happened, like I said, so I showed up for my son 2 days after my daughter passed away in court crying the whole time, right? We in court, I'm crying. I just lost my daughter. Now I'm in here for my son. And I'm pleading with the judge and the prosecutor. My daughter, his sister, they're very close. Like, all my kids are very close. I'm like, she just passed away. He's in here. He kept calling me from jail. I couldn't tell him on the phone. Like, I felt crazy. I couldn't say it, you know? And he kept saying, Mom, she's not answering. Tell her to answer me, because people are saying things, you know? And I couldn't. You know, I was like, it still didn't register to me yet that this was even a reality.
Right.
So finally, he's like, he said to me, like, Mom, this is what, like, one of the other cellies has said, you know, that she passed away. So I was like, yeah, you know. So I'm stressed out even more, because my son's sitting in jail having to process this in a fucked up environment. You know what I'm saying? He's 19 years old. You know, he's a kid. So that was one thing, but the court dropped like the major charge that could have really given him some real time because of this. So he was blessed. So I was like, you're an idiot for not just doing this little bullshit that they asked you to do and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like every time that he called me for something, no, that's a privilege. You want to eat out? You want to go to eat steaks and shit? Like, no, that's a privilege. Like, take care of your business.
Right.
You know, I'm not the mom to raise grown boys. Don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not into that. I'm not raising no grown boys out here. Like, I don't believe in that, because when I meet a man, if you have any tendency of being a grown boy, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be a grown man. Like, I do believe in that. And I also understand that he did something he wasn't supposed to do, and he needs to do his time for it. But am I driving him there? No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But I kept telling him it'll be easier for you to turn yourself in than for them to pick you up. You a black man. They might dog you out. You know what I'm saying? Because they run your name and see this bullshit.
Right.
So thankfully that didn't happen. He also has, you know, he struggles with mental health. So I'm hoping that, you know, this would just be a new leaf. And the time that he actually got for his violation, because it's nonviolent, he'll be home way sooner than that. And then I'm like, now we can start getting your life in order. You know, now I could really take you up under my wing and really help you so much more than I could. What can I do? We could start doing all these things, and you're going to get picked up. Now I got to start from scratch. You know what I'm saying? So he was just out here just kind of doing him and wilding, and I kind of just had to sit back and allow that to happen as a mom. You know, like tough love. Sometimes you got to give that to your kids.
Right.
Because I'm not going to coddle you and hide you in the attic. Like, I ain't doing that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this is real life. Like, you really did something. You didn't take care of your business. You got to go do the time for it. Cool. This is our reality. But as long as now you go do it, you got a clean slate, and you don't go do no more bullshit, then cool. We back on track. You know? Now mama could get mama again.
Right.
You know? So, yeah.
Well,
We love the raw talk.
yeah. Yeah, it's the best part of the interview.
Thank you.
Nah, but everybody go follow, like, subscribe to anything she's doing. One of the smartest entrepreneurially female ladies we've had on this show. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much. Thank you.